Shalom, 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom, man. Happy Sabbath day, peaceful Sabbath day. Hope everybody's having a good rest day for those that do keep the Sabbath on today. I also want to say to those that are going out on the highways and byways to stay warm. If you're in the, really anywhere in the country right now. It's kind of cold outside. Some people got snow, some people got ice, some people got wind. But stay warm out there when you're doing the work. Also stay safe and stay smart, man. If it's too dangerous to go out, hey, you know, um, have the ministry online, stream it. You know what I'm saying? But if you can go out, go ahead and go out. You never know what may happen, what breakthroughs you may have. This is a Sabbath lesson today on Enlighten the Ignorant. Enlighten the Ignorant. I got a video on my show, and then I got a few precepts to show as well. And we'll go over those. So hopefully this is edifying. We're the brothers of the hopeful elect. You see us right now, Azrael, Obadiah, Isaiah, and the brother Denal is in the lobby. He'll be up in a second. And hopefully we have the brother Baruch in the chat scribing on this beautiful morning. And, I'm going to play the blowing of the shofar. But before I do that, I want to say we give all glory and honor to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who sent his son as an instrument of salvation for the nation. And that nation is Israel, right? The nation is Israel. Shalom to the sons of Jacob, the 12 tribes. Shalom to the commandment keepers, those that's keeping the commandments and the faith of Christ. And also shalom to the cleavers that want to cleave on to the skirt of him that is a Jew and say, take me to your God. And they acknowledge the fame of our people. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll play the blowing of the shofar from us, your brothers at the hopeful elect. Let's usher the spirits in. Let's wake the spirits up. Right. So hopefully this is edifying, man. Where I'm gonna go to now is to my email and pull up this video. I'm gonna have to say fair use on this one because it is on YouTube. Right. I think this is a pastor. I don't know, but that don't really matter. What's being matter is really the end of this message, right? He takes a minute to get there. He takes a minute to get to the point because he's sharing a story. You know how pastors do. They gotta share a story. But he's gonna share a story, and then he's gonna, wrap it up with the meaning and the edification of it. So fair use, our thoughts and comments on this content. Restaurant, it'll say prime rib, so-and-so, 76, okay? It'll say Wagyu. Let me start from the beginning. I don't know if you ever been to that restaurant. It'll say prime rib, so-and-so, 76, okay? It'll say Wagyu, so-and-so, Japanese, 285. You've been there before. 285. I'm so ghetto. I'm talking to the waiter. I say, can I get the Wagyu 285? They was like, excellent choice, Pastor Mike. I'm like, cool. I said, so what's the difference between a regular steak and a Wagyu 285? He's like, number one, 285 is the price. Oh, man, once again, fair use. But yeah, if you ever been to them restaurants, man, the sister said he's a pastor in Alabama. He's a pastor in Alabama. So if you ever been to like an upscale restaurant, and if you haven't seen the menu at upscale restaurants before, they don't put a dollar sign by like the price. you'll just see like the meal and they'll have like a random number there, right? You don't know if that's the order number. You don't know what that is, right? If it's your first time, like he said, right? It might have a period at the end of that number or a period before that number, but they don't put a dollar sign on it. So some people can be confused. I don't know if that's a tactic to get you to, order without knowing, but nonetheless, the waiter, what I'm saying, or the waitress told him it was the price. Now, when I first started watching this clip, I thought, okay, here we go. Another pastor that's bougie and is flexing how much they spend on food and clothes. But keep watching.
I said, y'all got chicken fingers? Let me get the pizza. And then my friend says, no, you got to taste it. He said,
and that sounds like the brother Obadiah whenever we go to men's night. Yeah, brother Obadiah hit him with, that's how much y'all salmon cost? Y'all got cheese quesadillas?
Here, it's on me. I need you to bring him that Wagyu, the 285. I'm sitting there, but in my mind, because I'm from Inslee, I'm calculating everything I could do with that 285. I'm like 285, 50 in the tank, a 5 for 5 for Wendy's. I can go to the hippies in 5 Points West, get 2 fits, still have 125 left. Shoot my girl 55, put $5 in the kid's hands, and he's like, you gotta taste it, you gotta taste it. I look at him and say, I don't care how much it costs. Ain't nothing that good.
Yeah, hey man, shout out to our brother Ray, man, because he be honest about that, man. Ray, we be like that to Ray, like Ray, we can get the 3 for me deal. We go to Applebee's, get 2 for 20. We can go get triple dipper. Ray like, nah, man, we gotta go, man. We older, man. We gotta try nice things. We gotta eat nice things. Ray's like, he's that antagonist to us, and we more on the simple side of things. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless,
to the table. Why my knife just go through it? What it costs? Ain't nothing that good. It comes to the table. Why my knife just go through it? He said, trust me, it melts in your mouth. I'm just sitting there like, this is different right here. Fast forward, the next night, I take Lady to Outback. I say, I want to get the steak. It ain't doing what the other one did. She looking.
Right. And so, a lot of people, man, that we did a video a long time ago, and this has nothing to do with this lesson or what this guy's about to say, but I'm just kind of tying it in. We did a video a long time ago on do not envy yourself, right? Some wisdom that's given to us. I don't remember if that's in the Apocrypha or not. I think it's in the Apocrypha, but it says, do not envy thyself. And we did a video on that. A lot of times when you go to an upscale place or when you go and you try new things, even though it's expensive, right? Or when you go out the country, when you come back to mainstream, it's not the same no more. Mainstream is no longer mainstream. It's just ghetto. You be like, man, it's what? And it's because, and I was just sharing this with the brothers, man, the housing market is crazy right now. And you might if you renting, like there used to be pros to buying a house because your mortgage would be cheaper than paying rent. But now it kind of evens out because your mortgage and your rent going to be about the same nowadays, right? And I was telling them how, looking for a house, you can sometimes envy yourself. Like, nah, I don't want to move in something smaller. Nah, that closet's smaller. That space is smaller. That bathroom is not as big. A lot of times you can envy yourself, right? And a lot of times you end up not changing or not downgrading because you've experienced something already. And that's what he's saying. He's saying he went to Outback after trying the $280 Wagyu, right? He went to Outback and tried.
You said how much?
He paid $280 for that Wagyu steak. Where you been, brother? That's why he was saying, like, he said, it's a whole lot I can do with that. Man, you're gonna make me have to rewind the video. But
I missed the price.
Man, the whole video about the price, brother. I'm gonna play it again for you, bro.
Yeah, play it again,
bro. But yeah, so he's talking about going to Outback after experiencing paying $200 for some steak, right? And sometimes when you go back that, Outback used to hit. Texas Roadhouse used to hit. You know what I'm saying? These places used to hit, man, until you go in and try what food is actually supposed to taste like. And you upgrade your palate, man. But a lot of that is because you were ignorant, right? What's this lesson called? Enlighten the ignorant. You were ignorant to what was out there. You were living a life and didn't even know it was out there, right? And if you break down ignorant, the root word is to ignore. A lot of times we ignore the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is that we have to be like little babies out here and willing to learn everything. I'm gonna play this back again for the brother Salakia.
I heard he said 285. I don't know why in my head I was thinking he was talking about like $2. Then I was like, he can't be talking about that because he's talking about it being a little higher. So I was kind of confused.
Yeah, you gotta listen to what he's saying because the whole thing is about the price, for real, for real. It's about the price and it's about the experience.
Ever been to that restaurant? It'll say prime rib, so-and-so, 76, okay? It'll say Wagyu, so-and-so, Japanese, 285. You've been there before. 285. I'm so ghetto. I'm talking to the waiter. I say, can I get the Wagyu 285? They was like, excellent choice, Pastor Mike. I'm like, cool. I said, so what's the difference between a regular steak and a Wagyu 285? He's going, number one, 285 is the price. I said, y'all got chicken fingers? Let me get the pizza. And then my friend says, no, you got to taste it. He said, I brought you here. It's on me. I need you to take. Bring him.
Hey, shout out to that brother Ray. Ray be like that.
I heard. I was like, ain't no way he talking about $200. Ain't no way a steak that much. That was my mind and go to it being that much money. But it is that much money. That's crazy for a steak.
And he got his friends peer pressuring him to still buy it.
Yeah. Well, his friend said, I'll pay for you. That's what his friend said.
That's crazy. What kind of circle he got?
I'm sitting there, but in my mind, because I'm from Ensley, I'm calculating everything I could do with that 285. I'm like 285, 50 in the tank. A 5 for 5 for Wendy's. I can go to the Hippies in 5 Points West, get 2 fits, still have 125 left. Shoot my girl 55, put $5 in the kid's hands, and he's like, you gotta taste it, you gotta taste it. I look at him and say, I don't care how much it costs. Ain't nothing that good. It comes to the table. Why my knife just go through it? He said, trust me, I take. It melts in your mouth. I'm just sitting there like, this is different right here.
Fair use. And remember what he said, this is different.
It's crazy, man, because it's like, is this a pastor or is he a comedian? Because the way he's telling the story, the way he's acting and whatnot, you think you're watching a comedian special on Netflix.
Oh, when he wraps it up, when he wraps it up and he gives the edification behind it, you'll be like, oh yeah, he's a pastor. But to your point though, that's why a lot of people go to these mega churches too, is to get entertained, right? Because you can just hear the audience, everybody's laughing, clapping, screaming, right? He said, why my knife? And you hear in the audience, cut like butter. Why my knife it's melting in your mouth, and you know what I'm saying? So, but remember what he said right there. He said, this is different. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, when we come into this truth, into this knowledge, we can't see ourselves going back into the world. That's why whenever we see somebody go back into the world, we think it's crazy. Because we like, bro, once you know the truth, how could you even go back? How could you even work? How could you even go back to the everyday Sunday worship? How could you go back to the wicked holidays? How could you? Because once you taste the truth and once you digest the truth, you're like, this is different. Just like what he said, this is different. Go ahead.
So was the steak itself $200 or he had sides with the steak?
Nah, that's the steak, brother. It come with butter. That's a steak. It might have came with potatoes though. It might have came with mashed potatoes. But I don't know though. You know, some of them restaurants they'll just like put the steak and then have like a sauce decorated on the plate and a leaf.
You might have a spoon, literally a
You know,
spoonful of mashed potatoes on the side.
at any restaurant, you're really paying for the meat and sides to just be included. You're not really paying for the combo. So I'm saying that because it could have came with sides.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could have came with mashed potatoes. Sometimes though, it might just come with like asparagus on the side, and they might just have like 4 asparagus. Like when you get to those really expensive restaurants and people just paying for the meat, the steak. So I mean, it depends. Sometimes it comes with a baked potato. You never know.
Yeah, like Denal said, man, you might have a spoonful of mashed potatoes or asparagus, you know what I'm saying, and they put a little savory dressing on it or whatever to make it look high class, elegant.
Put it on. They bring it out on that wood. You know what I'm saying? And it's literally like a spoonful of mashed potatoes. I think they call it like a dollop or what. I don't know. I could be saying that wrong, right? But it's literally like a spoonful, and they put some parsley on it, man. They bring it out on that wood platter or the wood cutting board. It's still steaming.
Safe to say,
you paying for the experience too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. So if you're watching this lesson, man, safe to say the brothers from the Hopeful Elect is saying we making bad financial decisions all 2026. Next time you get paid, go buy you a $300 steak, even if you only getting paid $500.
Gotta witness
experience it one. You gotta experience it one time, bro.
Yeah, it might come out looking like something like this. It might come out looking something like this. You know what I'm saying? You might have paid 200.
Yeah, you forget the salt. They put the salt on the side.
Yeah, man. So you paying close to $300 for something like that.
$200. They need to feed the steak to me. They need to come and feed it to me. If I'm paying $200 for a steak,
Yeah,
ain't no way.
It might come like this right here, no sides. But
That's a
I'm not gonna lie. If I pay $285 for that with no sides, yeah, I'm like, oh, bro. After I eat the steak, it better regurgitate itself and let me eat it again. $285.
You like is it like the drink? Do I get refills?
Yeah, like is it endless? Is it bottomless?
Bottomless?
Yeah, they better do something.
Right.
And then they still expect you to tip $28.
No, they expect you to tip a little more than that, maybe like $50.
That's all right, bro. I got us during tax season. You know, I got the most kids, bro.
You know, $28 is only 10%, brother.
No, that's usually what the standard is.
20% or 22% or at least 15%. But come on, man.
Oh, the next night I take Lady to Outback. I say I want to get the steak. It ain't doing what the other one did. She look at me and say, just be grateful, baby. You got it. I said, I'm trying to be grateful, but I can't help God let me experience. And now that I got experience of the next level, everything on this level don't feel the same. God's getting ready to send you somebody who love you so right that old level ain't the same.
You really got real churchy right there.
He said exactly what they want to hear, boy.
But in all actuality, in all actuality, though, that is our experience with the truth, though. Whoever shared us the truth, or however we came into the knowledge of the truth, whatever video or whatever article or whatever, anything that we read that brought us to the truth, that was that person that was like, nah, you need to try this $285 steak. And after we ate it, we got people in the world saying what his wife said, just be grateful. Just be grateful. You can come to Thanksgiving, baby. Just be we thankful for God. Christmas ain't about that. You got people that's going to be in your life that don't understand that you done went somewhere and experienced something that you can't take back and you can't unexperience, right? And you have been taken to this next level, and now your palate's different. You're no longer ignorant. You're enlightened. Go ahead, Denal.
I don't know if you probably got this worked into the lesson, but I would say also when you come into the truth, it's a lot like this steak because it tastes so good, you forget how much it costs, right? And then once you get into this truth, you realize it might you don't realize at first that it's gonna cost you, man. You know what I'm saying? The things in life, when you come into the truth, you still trying to get it out the mud and work and all that stuff. It's gonna cost you jobs, opportunities. It's gonna cost you relationships and all of this. It tastes so good though. When once you open your mouth and it melted in your mouth, man, you forgot about the price. You know what I'm saying? And so just like in this right here, he's like, man, I don't want to, every time I want to go out and get a steak, I don't want to have to pay $285, but that's my new standard now. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing for this truth. It's like, man, it tastes so sweet, but hey, some people are like, dang, I don't want to be, having to pay the price for believing in this everywhere I go. But that's what comes with it, man.
Right. They're like, man, you're doing too much. That's legalistic, man. Just, come to the holiday party, come to church, man. You're doing too much. God will understand. And you like, I'm trying to be understanding and practical, but somebody done took me somewhere where I can't fathom going back. I can't eat no T-Bones Outback steak no more. Applebee's steak. I gotta have a real thing. Go ahead, Obadiah.
Yeah, man, that's like somebody invites you to feast of dedication for the first time, and you keeping the whole feast with a congregation. Then next year they trying to get you to come celebrate Christmas. You're like, no, I'm gonna keep feast of dedication. Christmas played only one day, giving gifts. We celebrating it a day for 7 days.
Right.
Having turned up and having fun.
Yeah, man. You done experienced Passover. You got invited to a Passover. You experienced Passover. They're breaking down why we got to celebrate Passover and why we don't celebrate Christmas and why we got to celebrate dedication and we don't celebrate Christmas. And they breaking it down with the scriptures and everything is it made sense to you and clear. You can't go back. And then if you do try to go back, it just don't feel the same. You sit in the pews at church picking the pastor apart. Nah, that's wrong. Nah, he said that wrong. I don't think that's in the Bible what he said. You're not even enjoying the service no more because you have already tried what's true. Let me finish this out. Fair use.
I come to make an announcement. Stop apologizing because your appetite.
Stop apologizing because your appetite, your spirit. I was going to name this, get your spiritual appetite right. But what he said, stop apologizing to these people that want you to come down to Applebee's level, want you to come down to McDonald's level, right? Have you tried a burger at McDonald's? That thing bust. What are you talking about? I'm on Wagyu steak, right? You got to get your spiritual appetite right. And don't apologize. Like we said last night, Galatians 4:16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Don't apologize to people that have not tasted the truth yet. They don't know what they do. We're going to get that. What Christ said, forgive them for they don't know what they do. They don't know. They're ignorant. We got to enlighten the ignorant. And that's what this lesson's going into. Go ahead, Denal.
In the world, man, you act like that, man. People call you what? Bougie, right? In the spiritual, you change your appetite. What they call you? Over righteous, man. It's going to come with it, though. You know what I'm saying? It's a cost to be paid for living in this truth. And it's $285, man. It's a high price, man. It's gonna come with a bad image. It's gonna come with a lot of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But once you taste it, it's so sweet. The Bible said it's like honey, man. Right? And so once you taste it, it's so sweet. You want to keep tasting it over and over again, but it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you.
You're gonna have people be like, what? You paid that much for some meat with no sides? What you doing all that for the Lord? The Lord don't require all that.
Yeah, what our friend group say that a couple weeks ago, we tell them, yeah, man, we had to turn down some opportunities, some job opportunities for keeping the Sabbath and stuff like that. And the Lord wouldn't want you to turn down no money. The Lord, you know what I'm saying?
The Lord wants you to get to that bag. They want you to get to that pay. Right? They say you doing all that for the Lord? Yeah, you ain't tried my Lord. You don't know the Lord I'm talking about. I'm talking about that. The Harold wool skin of brass. Got a chosen people. Got promises. That's the Lord I'm talking about. You don't know nothing about that Lord. Your Lord is still You know, he got blue eyes, long hair. He accepts everything you do. He don't ever chastise you. He don't ever teach you nothing new. That's your Lord. He the one that you still got questions in your head. My Lord, I don't got questions in my head. Everything is written and opened up to me because he loved me that much. Go ahead, Obadiah.
Con, I was gonna say, man, we can tell them what they missing out on, but they can't tell us what we missing out on because we done been through what they've been through. We done celebrated Christmas. We done celebrated Thanksgiving. We done celebrated Easter. We done ate these big pork chops and ate pork bacon and stuff. So they can't tell us, hey, bro, you missing out. Because we done did it before, but we can tell them what they missing out on because they ain't never experienced it.
How you gonna tell me I'm tripping and you ain't ever tried what I had to eat? You ain't never had the Wagyu, bro. I've had T-bone steak before. I understand what you eating. You don't even understand what I'm talking about in the comparison. So how can you tell me? Come on now. Don't get me started. Can I get an amen? Nonetheless, man, let's get started into this lesson. Right? The first precept we got, clear cut, man. Everybody know this one when you come into the truth, right?
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
Yeah, we'll read from Obadiah to Denal.
Okay, Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because I have rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing that I have forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
The Lord not gonna beg for you, bro. The Lord said promises. He's there for you. He wants you to come back, but he's not gonna beg for you. You know, sometimes in the world, you get in a relationship, and fellas know this. A lot of time, them girls, they'll leave you just to see if you'll beg for them. They'll get in fights and argue with you and shut themselves off just to see if you'll blow up their phone. The Lord not doing that. The Lord, hey, look, them Wagyu restaurants, if you ain't got the bread and if you ain't got the taste, they not begging you to come in there because they don't want you to waste their time. They don't want you to come and argue, why is this much? The price is on the menu. Before you stepped in the door, you should have had your pockets ready, right? They're not begging you, please don't eat at T-bones, come over here. They're not doing that, right? And the Lord's not doing that either. And because you reject it, you'll never experience the knowledge that you're supposed to have because you're rejecting it. That's what it means by the Lord's going to reject you. It means that he's not going to beg for you. He's not coming after you. You got to chase it and come after him, right? Let's read this next. Go ahead.
The Lord ain't no simp, man.
He ain't no simp. He not, right? Let's read this real quick. Let me make it a little bigger. Can you read that?
Yeah.
I can read it.
Nice.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verses 7 through 8, and it reads, What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
And the rest were what?
And the rest were blinded.
Right. A lot of times, man, our people are blinded. What is that blindness? It's ignorance. It's unbelief. They can't believe what you just said. They can't believe what you're telling them to do or what you're telling them to try. That's what it means by blinded. But there's an election. What are we called? The hopeful elect. Hoping to make our calling and our election sure. The election hath obtained it. There's a few people that tried that Wagyu steak. It's a few people. Everybody else mainstream. They at Outback. They at Texas Roadhouse. They not at that Japanese restaurant with the Wagyu steak. You know what I'm saying? It's only an elect group of people that's going to get to try it. That's going to get to taste it. The rest were blinded. Right? Read verse 8.
Verse number 8. According as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day.
Right. So there's a spirit that they can't even shake off themselves. So a lot of times you get frustrated with your friends and family. There's a spirit that God has put on them. It's resting on them, the spirit of slumber. Right. And a lot of people like to, say, a lot of y'all that go to church, y'all can't stay up. Y'all can't stay up through a lesson. Y'all can't stay up through a sermon because y'all got the spirit of slumber. There's some truth to that. And it's a lot of people where you try to teach them the truth. You'll be going in for maybe an hour. And we've experienced this on the street corners. We're talking to somebody for an hour and they didn't listen or retain anything that we just told them. We 30 minutes done passed and we asked them a question and we thought they was tracking the whole time and they said, wait, what? And we like, damn, we just been talking to ourselves because the spirit of slumber is on some of these people. Also, too, you got to understand the spirit of slumber is also a level of faith. Some people have a weaker level of faith and a smaller spiritual appetite. For example, when Christ said, how can you guys not do this? Right? Do you guys have eyes and see not? I was going to put that precept in here, but he said, do y'all guys have eyes and see not, ears and hear not? Do you not remember how I turned the fish and the 5 loaves of bread into food that everybody could eat? Do you not remember those things? Also, when he told the disciples, hey, watch and pray, right? Watch and pray while I go to the garden and I pray to the Lord. And he came back and they were sleeping. That's that spirit of slumber. A lot of people, man. And what do we say when somebody is ignorant of something in the world today? When we're talking to your homeboys or homegirls. Oh, you sleep. Oh, you sleep. They sleep. They sleep on me. When they ignorant, they sleep. That's that spiritual slumber. Right, let's get this next precept in Matthew 4, 15 and 16. This has become a staple for me. I don't know. I just, I never saw it in Matthew until this year, so-called last year. And it just sticks to me, man. It's like, okay, this lines up with the prodigal son and all of that. But nonetheless, man, Matthew 4, 15 and 16.
Kind of says Matthew 4 and 15, the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles.
Galilee of the Gentiles, right? Sidebar, letting you know that even in the New Testament, they do the whole transliteration thing, so it's going to look weird. But this is the tribe of Zebulun, the land of Zebulun, and the tribe of Naphtali, the land of Naphtali, right? In the New Testament, being called Gentiles, right? And you can go to a map where it says Galilee of the Gentiles, right? And I believe it's either right next to or right above Samaria, something like that. But nonetheless, Galilee of the Gentiles, man. Galilee of the Gentiles. So that's a sidebar right there. But keep reading about these Gentiles. Verse 16.
The people which sat in darkness saw a great light, and to them which sat in the region and shadow of death, light is sprung up.
Right. So you're in darkness when you're ignorant. When you don't know something and something hasn't been shown to you, you're in darkness. You have to be enlightened, right? You have to have that light shown on that good steak, right? If nobody shows you it, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you're just going to be dark. You're going to be ignorant for the rest of your life if nobody shows you that, right? So that's why in the video we played, he said, God's going to put somebody in your life to show you, to have you have that experience, right? And even if you say, you know what, nobody showed me, I just came into this truth by myself from my own studies. Guess what, man? Christ showed you, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's that person that brought you to that next level, right? That brought you out of darkness into the marvelous light. Y'all remember that precept, right? So that's what's happening. These Israelites, right, that were called Gentiles were in darkness. And now they've been taught about the light and they can't go back to darkness now that they can see. Who is going to be blind and then have a surgery, right? The surgery caused them to see and they're going to go to the doctor and say, hey, I can't take all this light. Please make me blind again. Nobody going to do that. Everybody going to be like, I can see. Man, that's what it's like to see. It's a little bright, but I'll get used to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not used to it yet, but I'll get used to it. That's what happens when you come to this truth, man. Sometimes it may be a little too bright, but you're not going to go back to darkness, to being blind, right? So that's what it is, coming out of darkness into the marvelous light. Let's get this next precept. In John, we're going to read John 1 and 1 through 5.
This is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 1 through 5. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning. Oh, go ahead.
I wasn't going to say nothing, but I guess we could break it down word for word. We can break it down verse for verse. This is how I break it down. Other people may have different ways of breaking it down, right? The way I break it down is in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, meaning there was two entities, the word and God, and the word was God. I read it as the word was a God as well. So that means that there were two gods, right? That's how I read it. You may read it and have a different conviction, but that's how I break it down, right? Verse 2.
The same was in the beginning with God.
Right. The same was in the beginning with God. Verse 3.
All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
Go on, keep going.
In him was life, and the life was the light of men.
Right. That's that light we just read about with Zebulon and Naphtali. That light. Keep going.
And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth it not.
Right. Because if you've been in darkness your whole life, when that light finally does shine, that's the point that I wanted to bring this out. The point is when that light finally shines in darkness, you're not going to know what it is. Right. I'm sure, you know, when you think about a caveman and they see fire for the first time, they're looking at it weird, like, what is it? Do you eat it? Do you touch it? What is it? Right? Because they don't know what it is. And so that's the same thing with light. When this truth is shown to you, you got to question it. You can't just be green. A lot of us, we weren't green. A lot of us, we questioned it. We studied it, right? Because it was different. It sounded different. It moved different. It taught different. But once we tried it and then we comprehended it, guess what? We were able to convert to it. We was like that the pastor, $285. Hold up, that's the price. Hold up. Do y'all got this? Do y'all got that? We didn't comprehend what was going on. But now we've been called out of darkness into the marvelous light. But the people that are still in darkness, this is why they don't know. This is why they can't get it right, because of that spiritual slumber, and because it says they cannot comprehend light. Somebody, you have to be led to the light, and you have to try the light to be able to comprehend it. You can't just see the light and walk by. If you do that, you're not going to comprehend it. You have to go to the light. You have to study it. You have to ask questions. You have to try it. And then when you try it, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, it's worth it. Yeah. But you have to be enlightened from your ignorance, right? Let's read this next one. Ephesians 4:17 through 19.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17 through 19. And it reads, This I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind.
Right. So that's darkness. Walking in the vanity of their mind, like all these other Gentiles and religions of the world. What's the vanity of your mind? It's going to go into it, right? Verse 18.
Verse 18, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of God through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their heart.
Right. They were alienated, right? So like they were alienated, right? So vanity of your mind is just that. Having no understanding. That's what it means by having the understanding darkened, right? And what does it mean by that? It's because before we were formed in our mother's womb, we were already thinking the right way, but then we were born into this life of sin and we have lost the understanding, right? So having their understanding darkened, that's being in the vanity of their mind. That's how these other nations operate, right? In the vanity of their mind. They don't think there's a deeper purpose to stuff. They think that the world revolves around them, and that's vanity, right? It says being alienated from the life of God, meaning their life, it doesn't revolve around God, it revolves around them. They don't ask God for help. They think they can manifest the help, right? Through the ignorance, right? That is in them because they have not tried God. They have not tried the truth, right? And that's what's wrong with our brothers and sisters. They'll try crystals, they'll try horoscopes, they'll try Ifa and telling and future telling and all this. They'll try bones and everything, but they won't try the Most High God. They won't try the truth out, and that's their ignorance, right? It says because of the blindness of their heart. There goes that word blindness again, right? They're in darkness. Their hearts aren't not ready for it yet. They don't have They don't have a friend, and they don't have the money to get that Wagyu steak. They don't have somebody to stand in the gap and pray for them that they get the understanding. And they don't have it in them to pay the price for that understanding. Because I was talking to another brother that was in the truth while I was in the gym. I was on the phone with him, and we were talking about, he said, I kind of praise God all the time, man, that I came into the truth without tragedy. And I said, I know what you mean by that. He said, yeah, man, because a lot of people in the truth, they're here because God put them through a storm. Like, I've heard some crazy testimonies, but like for me, like I didn't have to go through nothing to come into the truth. And that's because, just like the video that we just watched, you either got to have a friend that can teach you and walk you down and enlighten you to what Wagyu is. Wagyu is the truth. What the truth is, or you got to have enough money yourself to go out yourself and experience that Wagyu. Meaning what? God gonna have to, if you're gonna enter it yourself, sometimes God's gonna put you through a struggle, and you'll find out what the truth is on your own. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what vanity of their mind is darkness, it's disbelief, it's doing what they want to do and manifesting stuff themselves, right? We can read verse 19 now.
Verse 19, and it reads, who being past feeling like giving themselves, let me read that again. Who being past feeling have given themselves over to lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness.
Right, man. So that's why everybody's so lustful and sexual with the lasciviousness, right? And the uncleanness, right? That's why they eat whatever they want to, unclean animals. That's why they're not as clean when it comes to washing off physically. That's why everybody got all these diseases and everything, right? And that's why everybody's so greedy, and everybody will slight you and covet you and be jealous of you and scam you for money. That's why, because of vanity of mind, nobody's in the truth, right? We're living in a world where there's only a select few people that have tasted and tried the truth and won't go back to the world, to the mainstream restaurants, right? Go ahead, Obadiah.
Man, excuse me. Yeah, like,
With the world.
oh, my bad. I think I clicked. My bad. That's my fault. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, man. So it's like,
vanity of mine played out right there, bro.
bro, that's madness, bro. I didn't try to do that, man. I didn't try to do that. Forgive me, y'all. Forgive me. But so the world is kind of like watered down Kool-Aid. You taste some Kool-Aid. The Kool-Aid ain't got no sugar in it. It just tastes like water. We don't went to places people been made some Kool-Aid and it tastes like water. This truth is like flavored Kool-Aid. They put just the right amount of sugar in the Kool-Aid, and it's like when you drink it, your eyes light up. I want some more. I want some more. This is how this truth is. The truth is like the seasoned, flavored Kool-Aid. The world. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, even with that example, just like the South, until the South discovered you could put sugar in tea and make sweet tea, everybody was drinking regular tea. Tastes like water everywhere you go. Then they made sweet tea. You can't go back to regular tea now. I gotta have, and even if I do make some regular tea, I'm putting a little bit of sugar in there. I gotta have some sweet tea because you've been enlightened to that dopamine rush of sugar. You know what I'm saying? And you can't go back. It's a part of every addiction. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that do hard drugs, on the left-hand side of things, a lot of people that do hard drugs, you tell them no, but you got to try it though. You ain't tried it. It's not bad. You got to try it just once. That's how you get hooked. But just like you get hooked on the left-hand side, that's how you get hooked on the right-hand side. You just got to try the right things though.
And that's what I was going to say too, just to add, because the people on the left-hand side, like the brother who, before he tried that $285 steak, you cannot convince them that the steak that they get from Outback Steakhouse, the steak that they get from these regular steakhouses that the general public can afford, you can't convince them that they don't make the best steaks. Why? Because that's all their appetite is accustomed to. That's all they've known their whole lives for real. And after a certain period of time, it just becomes the thing that's just like, what? You telling me something tastes better than this? And of course, there's bad steaks on every level. You could pay $200 and probably get a bad steak. You know, it can happen like that. But what I'm saying is that majority of the time when you got people on the lower level, you know, like brothers admitted ourselves, man, we ain't paying no $200 for no steak. The food that we get that's not as expensive, sometimes we have some great meals. You know, it'd be like, dang, that was pretty good. Dang, my money was well spent. And that's the thing. So it's just like getting people to kind of change their mind about not only what they eat, but I guess you could say the quality of food that they eat. Sometimes it's hard because again, it's one, it's all they ever known, and two, to them, it's the best tasting thing in the world. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's just hard, like to
They
like the
don't
brother
know.
brought up McDonald's.
Yeah, they don't know
I
what
was
they're.
gonna say this. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm saying, like, they don't know what they're missing. So a lot of times, like, it's like you could be driving by one of those restaurants. You could be driving by McDonald's. For example, I do this all the time. I drive by McDonald's. I see that line is full, and I'll be like, man, they don't know what they're doing to themselves. They think
Right.
they think they eating good. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it is spiritually. And the truth, like the brother Isaiah is saying, is we've seen all these people in all these different religions, our people in all these different religions and all these different customs and worshiping holidays and eating bad food and stuff. That's all they've ever known. But we like, man, you don't even know. You're not even happy for real. You don't even
Right.
that's not even what you're supposed to be doing. You don't even know. Like if you just experience this truth and be enlightened, you would look at the world a whole lot different. You think the world is so big when really the world was made for your sake and it's smaller than you think, and God and the Most High is right there. You don't even know these things, and we looking at them crazy. They uploading their pictures to social media. They uploading their pictures to Facebook, Instagram, and all that during all the holiday season, and they have the smiles on their face. They think they're enjoying life, but they know it's a facade, and we know that they know it's a facade because we used to taste it. We used to go to them restaurants. We used to celebrate them holidays. We used to go to them churches. We used to understand that way. But now, after you have that taste, right, you instantly start judging people. You instantly start judging people for what they're doing because you know better now.
Right. And I was gonna say in closing, you know, that's how it is with children. So our a lot of people, when you come into the truth, man, a lot of pushback you get is from people being like, man, your kids, my kids ain't gonna be able to experience. You telling me your kids ain't gonna be able to experience, they ain't gonna be able to, but like the brother Azrael said, they ain't gonna know what they missed out on, right? They're not gonna really have no knowledge of it. They're not gonna be able to taste that low quality meat and say this meat is good, right? Because we're elevating them from the time that they came out the womb to the $250 to $350 steak. Like if the steak that our kids is eating is going to require a credit check for you to be able to purchase. So they're not going to know what it's like to go get you a buy here, pay here steak, right? Because why? The Lord has upgraded us. So we've upgraded our children, and our children won't be able to feel the same emotions that a lot of people in the world feel surrounding these holidays, surrounding, you know, everything pertaining to the world, because why? We've upgraded them, right? Like Beyonce said in the song, let me upgrade you. Let me upgrade, you know.
And then also too, you know, you also know where somebody is spiritually, how they respond to something, right? For example, if you ask somebody in the area, hey, what's the best place for steaks around here? And they say Texas Roadhouse. If you've experienced a deeper palate like Wagyu or something, right? If you experience that, as soon as they tell you that, you're like, yeah, I shouldn't be talking to this person about that. They don't really know what they're talking about. You may not let them know that, but you like, yeah, they still not there yet. And the same thing with this truth, right? You ask somebody, hey, what's the gospel? And they give you they spiel about the gospel. It's as easy as ABC. 1, 2, 3. Off rip, you already know, yeah, they're not there yet. And you might not tell them that right then and there, but you like, yeah, they haven't tasted. They haven't tasted it. They're still on the milk, if that.
Cool.
They haven't tasted the meat yet. Go ahead.
Or you ask somebody, what color was Jesus? Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Or he was all colors. And like you said, they ain't
He
there
was
yet.
a Jewish man. He was olive. You like, yeah, okay. All right. You might just shake your head like, all right.
He was Middle Eastern.
All right, yeah. All right. And you be like, you know, if I got time in the day, I'll lead them to them deep waters. If not, I'll just pray for him, we just in passing, you know what I'm saying? But you could tell, you look at them like them people that be in that McDonald's drive-through. Right? Let's read this real quick. 1 Corinthians 13 and 11.
1 Corinthians 13 and 11, it says, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away
woman. I put away childish things, right? I was saying man or woman. I put away childish things, right? And that's all that we going into. We going into once you come and once you are enlightened and once you're no longer in darkness, you have to put away that stuff that you was doing, right? And you can't go back no more. You got to be willing to pay that price, pay that cost, right? To have the real thing, not the fake thing, right? You could be eating human flesh going to McDonald's. You never know, right? You just worried about it tastes good. It's filling me up. It's cheap, right? But once you're no longer a child, you got to put away childish things, man. You got to put away the stuff that you know is not conducive to your health, right?
In a human burger, human Big Mac,
right?
In the leg,
right? You never know, just ground up meat, right? Last precept, Acts 17 and 30.
Acts 17 and 30. In the times of this ignorance, God winked at, but now commandeth all men everywhere to repent.
Right. So enlighten the ignorant. At the time of their ignorance, God winked at. So guess what? As God's people, we can wink at it too. But we got to call all men and women everywhere to repent and to turn away from what they were doing in darkness, turn away what they were doing in ignorance, turn away what they were doing in the unknown, and come to the light, man. Come to the truth of the matter and come taste what's good, that manna from heaven, right? So do brothers have any closing remarks before we close it out?
Nah, man.
I got one, man. Good, great, mighty lesson, and reminder. Stop feeling bad for buying yourself some expensive and nice stuff sometimes, Every now and again, it's okay to treat yourself to a quality steak. I know a lot of times in life, especially in captivity, man, and I'm not blaming captivity for it. What I'm saying is, even if I had the money, which I don't, but if I had the money to borrow like that, and have the knowledge of the truth, it still would be hard for me to truly treat myself to $200 steaks, knowing that, hey, I could go feed somebody else, or somebody may need help on their lights, somebody may need gas in their tank. But once in a while, get yourself, upgraded, see how it is, because, one, we only get one life the Most High gave us to enjoy, and two, it's not a sin to treat yourself to nice things. We come from a royal lineage, a priestly lineage, and they had the finest things. So if we got to pay a little cash sometimes to treat ourselves to nice things, don't feel like you shouldn't experience that luxury. Why? Because it may change your life. For some people, it could be the difference between them eating at the forbidden McDonald's, like the brother Asriel calls it, and it could be the difference between them eating that and them switching their whole diet up because they like, man, that food tastes so terrible in comparison to this. It's the same thing with the truth. If you got people that struggle with the knowledge of the truth in certain aspects, yeah, they may know about it, but they hesitate to come into it because they can't let go of the taste of the food that they currently eating. Offer to pay for them. And the way you could do that sometimes is, you could pray for them, you could offer to help them read and understand passages. You can do the little things that, drop them little nuggets of wisdom, or you can just continuously do the little things, offer them to come to the feast days, offer them to come to new moons, offer them to come by on the Sabbath day. Like, do those little things that may kind of increase their appetite, because you can come by on your house on the Sabbath and the smell of, I'm using this as a metaphor, but the smell of the food in the kitchen that you got on the stove could make them want to come back again. You know what I'm saying? So it just be the little things that we could do to help others increase their appetite too. But mighty lesson, man, that I may go buy me a $600 steak when I can afford it, man. May change up my whole diet. Everybody eat on me. If you watching this video, come by and see me, man. We got $600 steaks. A mighty lesson, though.
Come on, man. That's vanity of mine. But I'm just playing. Any other brothers got something?
Yeah, I don't know about no $200 steak. That's kind of crazy.
Brother said, "Give me the chicken tenders." But Con, man, you know, hopefully this video was edifying, man. Hopefully, you can see the parallels that were drawn, and give you something to think about, man. Hope you guys have a mighty, restful, peaceful Sabbath day, brothers of the hopeful elect. Like our big brother Christ said, if you're not helping to gather by default, you are scattering the flock, right? So gather together, O nation, not desire. And we say, Shalom.
Shalom.